Mental toughness. We're on the road, been on the road. You got to lock in and focus on the details. You can't let the distractions of being in a hotel, being uncomfortable. You might not have your, all your treatment stuff, but making sure you're coming to work.
How do you think that's helping this team grow? This adversity, I guess, of this road trip.
Yeah, it's making us come together. It's giving us adversity before the season starts, giving us time to gather and collect each other and kind of just build that chemistry that we want to build early on before the season starts.
Does this team have any kind of identity yet in your?
Yeah, definitely. We got a lot of identity. We are a good mix of leaders, young guys, and throughout training camp, it's just going to be ups and downs. It's going to be hard, and that's what you want it to be. So then when the season comes along, we can take the ground running.
What's the identity?
Tough, smart, physical, and guys just love ball, and that's the type of guys we have.
Did the grind seem to catch up with you guys today with all the scuffles?
That's just part of the game, man. There's scuffles at every single training camp practice, no matter if the team is bad, good, or indifferent. It just comes with being physical and caring about what you're doing.
Yeah, I think it was a team. We came out a little more energized today, coming out the gun shooting. So, yesterday felt like when we all came out the field, it felt not as good. But when we looked at the film, it wasn't as bad as we thought. There was actually a lot of good plays out there to be had, and guys were doing their job. So, but energy-wise, though, we came out hot today. Thanks, guys.
Do you feel like the grind of training camp is sort of, the road trip, the grind of the road trip is sort of kind of weighing on these guys now?
I'm not gonna say weighing. There is times where it's like, man, like it'd be nice to be in your own bed, right? But, like we said before we went on this trip, it's a good time for us a great time really for us to bond and create that connection and that chemistry off the field as well as on the field. Like I said, there are times that like you get back to the hotel room, you're like, man, they ain't came and cleaned the room yet. Your bed sounded nice, but overall though, no. We're all in this together, and so whether it's a good situation on the road or a bad situation, it doesn't matter. We're all in it together, and I like that because it brings guys closer.
It seems like that's been sort of the message on this trip is this adversity that you guys are fighting through is going to lead to better things down the road.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's like I just said, us being out here together. It's not easy, being in a hotel and figuring out. We have our routines when you have the facility and you have all the facilities within the facility, and all your things at your house, whatever it is, right? And so you have to adapt on the road, and so we're all fighting the same battle on the road, and just this little adversity. I wouldn't call it adversity, but you could word it that way if you wanted to, but it's just bringing us closer. So like you just said, down the road when there is some adversity in the season, there will be, just like every year. We can approach that as a team and get over that hump as a team.
What do you think this team needs to do to be ready to play Denver? Like what the next 2 weeks are you needing to see to feel good about going into that week?
It's coming quick. I think we have like 5 or 6 more practices until it's it's the regular season. So, now is the time. These first few weeks have been just a lot of hit and a lot of trash talk, a lot of just physicality, all that stuff. And now it's really time to hone in the details. The little things. And there's going to be mistakes from all of us every single day at practice. Things that we're going to correct, things that we're going to fix, things you've never seen before. But the biggest thing is as these things pop up, is just honing on the details and correcting these little things. So over the course of the whole season, as we keep learning as a team and growing as a team, all these little things don't come to bite us in the ass down the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you've been on a team that has a pretty strong established culture, what are the hallmarks of that, and what more does this team need to do to get to a place like that?
Yeah, we've talked about this as groups in the past. It's one thing that we all have in common is all the stories that we've heard. They all have the same things in common as player-led. There's trust between the teammates. There's that cohesiveness, that chemistry, that belief in each other. And these are all things we've been building here, and we have that here. And we just got to continue to grow that and cultivate that.
When you have scuffles like you guys had, you got Michael Penix, quarterback in the middle of that. I see you smiling. What do you think of that? The quarterback talking mess to you guys.
It's just competing. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened on the first one. I was way down the field and ran back, but it's just guys getting chippy and competing. It kind of went a little too far at some point, but it's just two teams face each other, just competing, and guys, everyone's out here to prove themselves, prove it as a team, and just, sometimes it'll cross that boundary just a little bit, and, we were able to reel it back in, and just get back to playing ball, but that's all it is, just guys getting competing, just, guys just talking, that's all it is.
I think DBs did a lot better today, but we got a hitch. and we get a hitch, we got to bring them down.
How much of that do you attribute having Popeyes last night? That we saw you with the bag of Popeyes when you were going to the team meeting.
Oh man, that's American Deli, man. You know, when you're in Atlanta, I'm from Atlanta, so if you ever in Atlanta, you got to get you some American Deli. Got to get them wings. Hot lemon pepper sprinkles.
Did you share?
2 wings. Dan and one with Jeff.
Where do you think this team is in terms of establishing an identity?
I think we're very close. I think we are farther where we at now than we were last year. Just we all locked in on details. Some of the stuff we still got, because we're a young team, some of the stuff we just got to be consistent on coming in and having a good practice, being consistent on that. But I think we're very close than we were last year.
As a vet, how hard is it not to get frustrated? Because you're a guy that obviously been in the league a while. You want to win now.
Yeah.
But you got all these young players around that are making mistakes and having to learn and trying to figure things out.
Hey, growing pains. That's what it is. I was a rookie one time on the vet team when I was with the Raiders. It was the oldest team in the league then, and I had to do the same thing coming in, being a rookie, having mistakes not in my playbook a lot, doing those things. So just for me being a rookie then and now, I can tell these guys, I know what they're going through. I know that I don't want to be in the playbook a lot. I don't want to do this and that, but we got to do it because we expect all these rookies to play, and they are going to help us.
Can you point to anything that makes you think that you're ahead of where you were last year? Like, what is the difference?
OTAs. It started in OTA. Just where we at now we're together. We're much together. We know our teammates. A lot of us know what our teammates got going on personally, and it's growing. It's bringing us together, and it's growing each and every day.
A lot of the guys said they wanted to get a better start at practice today. How you feel that went?
I think we did good. I think we started off in the one-on-ones. We got a little scuffle going on, so the pitch got hot. And then we got the teams had a little scuffle going on, but after the scuffle, we still played football and we still was able to keep that high intensity.
For you personally, like, what do you do to make sure you start off, hot?
Well, for me, I'm always hot, for real. Yeah. I'm talking, but it's more talking to the young guys. Hey, the coaches say something that we really don't like or trying to get their pitch going. Sometimes that could get the young guys tight a little bit. Hey, go out there and play football. You know what to do. Get your feet in the ground, set, and let's go. And there's a lot of talking to them.
Yeah. Was the scuffling planned tonight? Like, did you guys come out here expecting?
Oh no, because at the end of the day, you kind of get fined if a punch thrown or anything like that. It was just one of them days. I've been in joint practices for 8 years now. First day, you tend to have a good day. That second day, it kind of get a little chippy. So that's how I be.
Did you see what started it?
No, it's just talking. That's all it is. Just talking, people pushing and shoving and stuff like that. That's all it was.
It looked like Penix was one of the guys talking. What do you think of that? Have a quarterback talk to you.
He started it on that one on team one. But again, those guys in Atlanta, they protecting their quarterback, which they were supposed to do. O-line came in, did what they did, and we wasn't allowing that. But that what they were supposed to do.
I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I get a good amount of balls every single day, and I don't think they're like scripting who gets the balls, because you don't get a scripted defensive look, which is really what dictates who gets the ball. So sometimes it's just like, oh, you happen to get the ball more on this day because the defense was giving you certain looks.
So did you get nice looks here?
Today was a pretty good day for me. Yesterday probably was one of my worst days since I've been here. Like, I'm talking about since rookie minicamp all the way up until now was probably, I haven't really had many bad practices, but that probably was one of them. Which is a good thing. Like, it's obviously we've been traveling for a lot and the energy was kind of low, and so sometimes it's good to have a bad practice because then you can also show, like, because everybody's gonna have a bad day, you can show that you have the ability to not allow one bad day to spiral into more bad days. You know what I'm saying?
Why was it bad?
Why was it a bad day? I could give you like a list of like every single play and like tell you like what I could have done better on that play, but I think the biggest thing for me that I had to come and do today was just have better energy and like get myself going. Like yesterday I kind of looked like I couldn't really get it going. Like even in one-on-ones, like I really don't lose one-on-ones, and like I lost the first 2 reps of one-on-one. So like like I got to get myself going. So I came back to that. I'm like, hey, like let's go.
Yesterday it looked like there were a couple of 50-50 balls where you could have gone up and pulled it in. But
exactly.
But you let the DB get into you and knock it away. What did you learn from that?
Like I said, like you're not gonna make every single play, but you expect yourself to make those plays. And sometimes it's just you gotta go back and be like, this is my ball. Like nobody else can have it. And that's the mentality you gotta have for those 50-50 balls. So that's what you do next time it comes your way.
Alec, you mentioned having a couple of bad reps. What do you do to be able to put that behind you and move on to the next one?
Yeah, that's it. You just put it behind you and move on to the next. You know, you try to stay focused in the present. Because like I said, everybody's going to have bad reps. You know, Jerry Rice dropped balls, Jamar Chase dropped balls, Calvin Ridley drops balls. But that doesn't dictate your whole career, right? So you just come back and focus on the next rep.
You know what I'm saying, guys? You know, fighting hard, competing every day. So sometimes this happens. So it's grown men out here battling. Sometimes things happen.
You kind of touched on it. Are you starting to feel the adversity of this grind that you're on day 8 now?
Yeah, definitely feeling the adversity of the grind. It's a long camp. Like I said, guys are starting to get tired. It's getting grimy, but we just keep going and keep finding a way to push through it.
Seems like you've had a bit of an elevated role this week. Just kind of, what have the coaches told you? What have you earned to kind of get this bigger opportunity?
Yeah, I'm just doing what the coaches are asking me to do, whether it's with the ones or the twos. I'm just trying to go out there and compete and show them I can play.
Can you appreciate what Coach Callahan's trying to do here for you guys right now with this road trip?
Yeah, I can definitely appreciate it. I think one of the biggest things that I love that Callie's doing this year is really trying to establish a culture and a standard within our team. Just the different things that he talks about in the team meetings of what we're going to be about. He talked about how this trip should bring us together. It's been a 10-day trip. We came straight from Tampa, straight here. So just trying to get everybody to build a culture and become closer together.
What's your impression of the Falcons over here the last couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, they're a pretty good team. Got some good players over there. Obviously, they came out to compete today, so they're a pretty good team.